Hey, what's going on? It's Romeo. What did we talk about today? We're Thursday. We're almost to the weekend. We got into the NBA a little bit about why I can't watch it anymore. I try, but I can't. We talked about relationships with Michael Bean and then, of course, embarrassing yourself. What was your embarrassing moment? Let's get going. What did you send me here? RD42547. Hey, Rome, can you help me understand this? Yesterday, I'm at work. My wife calls me from her job talking about what a rough day she's having, how hard it's been. She's tired. She's frustrated. So I take off work a little bit early. You know what? I will say this. Sometimes there's too much, and I haven't finished reading this, but sometimes there's too much communication. If you're at work and you get a call from your spouse telling you how messed up their day is, and you're trying to get through your day, how are you supposed to handle that? Anyway, okay. I go pick up dinner for us and the kids so she doesn't have to do anything. When she gets home, she shows up. I got dinner ready. She's mad at me. She had pulled out some meat that she was going to cook. So now I'm the bad guy for getting dinner and ruining her dinner plans. I was just trying to help her out, Rome. Was I wrong? No, no, you're not wrong. I mean, why would you be wrong? She's talking about what a rough day she's having, how she's frustrated and blah, blah, blah. And so you try to do what you can to help. You know, I'm going to give this guy credit because you know how women always get mad when you try to solve their problems for them? He could have just as easily tried to solve her rough day at work with whatever she was frustrated with at her job. But instead, he just said, you know what, let me go handle dinner for us and the kids so that she has one less thing to deal with. And then she comes home mad at you? No, you didn't do anything wrong. She was just being a jackass. I mean, she just took out her rough day on you. And I'll be honest with you. If I were you, I would never make dinner again. I would never buy dinner again. I would never make dinner again. She should have kept her mouth shut, put the meat in the refrigerator, and just enjoyed the fact that you tried to do something to lessen the stress of her day is what she should have done. So, no, she was 100% wrong. And I'm just telling you, I would never help her out again just for the mere fact that she did that to you. All right, 842-547-7. Guy sent me this. I thought it was kind of funny. He said, hey, Rome, I was hoping you could help me understand. So yesterday I'm at work. My wife calls me from her job talking about what a rough day she's having, how hard it is. She's tired. She's frustrated. So I get off work a little bit early to go pick up dinner for us and the kids so she doesn't have to do anything. When she gets home, she's mad. She's mad at me. She had pulled out some meat that she was going to cook. So now I'm the bad guy for getting dinner and ruining her dinner plans. I was just trying to help, Rome. Was I wrong? No, you weren't wrong. Of course you're not wrong. How can you be wrong for trying to help? I'm like that meat can't sit one more day. But you pulled out some, you can't have it. What that happened yesterday? What, you can't have it today? I mean, what? Why would you be wrong? RD42547-7. Hey, Romeo, tell that guy he has to understand what his wife is doing. As a mother of two and a wife, when I get home, I have dinner plans ready to go. So when I pull out food to make when I get home for everybody, it is frustrating when nobody wants to eat it. Well, he didn't say nobody wanted to eat it. He just said he was trying to help her out so she didn't have to cook. So he provided dinner. What is wrong with, you cannot honestly sit here and say that this guy was wrong for trying to make his wife's day a little easier. You can't be that dumb. There's no way in hell. I mean, that's just her being a jackass. She had a rough day at work, came home, took it out on him. That's all it was. RD42547-7. All right, this is just too funny, man. I mean, the guy says, this is what the guy sent me. He said, his wife called him right at work yesterday, and she was talking about her job. It was she was having a rough day. She was frustrated. She was tired. So I guess he got off work early. So he was gonna pick up dinner for everybody, for the kids and everybody. So she didn't have to do dinner. When she gets home, she shows up for dinner. I got dinner ready already. She's mad at me. She had pulled out some meat that she was gonna cook. So now I'm a bad guy for getting dinner and ruining her plans. I was just trying to help out, Rome. What do you think? What was I wrong for that? No, you weren't wrong. She was just being a jackass. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Already 42547-7. Hey, Rome. That's why these women in Bakersfield can't find a good man, and they're always complaining that good men don't exist. Because when a guy does something for them like that, they got to get pissed off because it wasn't their way. Well, I don't know if that's true, but yeah. I mean, obviously she had a bad day at work. So she went and took it out on her family, on her husband. Called him at work to complain. Then when he tried to do something nice for her to make her day easier, she got mad at him. Bro, I hope she's a good woman. I don't know what to tell you. Already 42547-7. Hey, Rome. Hey, Rome, it is his fault. If his wife had plans for dinner already, he should have called her and asked her if it was okay for him to do that, so it didn't mess up what she had going on at home. No, that's just stupid. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's why these women in Bakersfield are always complaining they can't find a good man, because when a good man does good stuff for them, they act like jackasses. Maybe you're right. Already 42547-7. So check out what happened to this dude. This poor guy, man. I feel bad for him. I hope his wife doesn't treat him like this all the time. He says, Rome, maybe you can help me out. Help me understand with this. Yesterday, I'm at work. My wife calls me from her job, talking about what a rough day she's having, how hard it's been. She's tired. She's frustrated. So I take off work a little bit early, pick up dinner for us and the kids, so she doesn't have to do anything. When she gets home, dinner's ready. She's mad at me. She says she pulled out some meat she was going to cook. So now I'm the bad guy. I ruined her dinner plans. Well, did you really? Or is she just trying to be a jackass and take out her bad day on you? Because it's like, what, that meat can't sit one more day? Can't make it today? I mean, what is it bad? I mean, who cares? You know, sometimes, I'm just going to tell you this. Sometimes when somebody does something for you, you need to just shut up and be appreciative, okay? Sometimes you need to just say thank you and go about your day. Not be mad because you had something else. Obviously, your husband did not know that, so all you had to do was not say anything, be appreciative, and make whatever you were going to do today, okay? People do that all the time. They do it with flowers a lot. You hear these people, oh, they're flowers. You bought me flowers, or they're just going to die. Or people do stuff. Your spouse, you do stuff for your spouse, and instead of just being appreciative, they have to make some snide remark about it. Already 42547-7. Yo, Rome, I agree with you, Rome. Well, appreciate it. Yo, Rome, the chick had a rough day at work because her work husband didn't bring her coffee and donuts. She's just selfish. Yeah, bro. I would have been, poor guy. I feel bad for you, bro. I mean, I really do. Your wife was just being a jerk, you know? I hope she's not always like that. Hopefully this is just I'm hoping, because you asked me about it, that this is just an odd day, an off day, that this is not a regular occurrence, because if it is, bro, you got to get a new wife. I mean, and I will tell you again, don't ever in your life buy dinner for her ever again. Don't ever try to help her out again if she's going to treat you like that. Guy was telling me that his wife called him at work, and she apparently she's having a rough day. She was tired, frustrated, so he thought he'd try to help out him a little bit. He gets off work a little bit early, goes and picks up dinner for the kids and everybody. And apparently, when she got home, she was mad about it. Excuse me. She was mad because she had pulled out some meat that she was going to cook, which, how old is your wife, by the way? Who pulls out meat every day? That's just weird. I didn't think people still did that, but okay. So he was just asking me what I thought about it. He was just trying to help out and be nice. And apparently, what I think is she had a rough day. And I think that she took it out on you. And I think that's terrible. Already 42547-7. Hey, Rome, I think you're right. I think she just had a rough day. and took it out on her husband. That's unfortunate that women act like that. I used to do that with my husband when he was just trying to help me. It took me a little while, but I finally learned just to kind of understand what he's doing. Well, is trying to help you wrong? That text message kind of made it sound like trying to help you was wrong. Can you help in the wrong way? Like that, I guess. Already 42547. Hey, Rome, we're looking at it from his perspective. What about her side? Is it always up to her to cook dinner? Or does he cook dinner as much as she does? Well, I mean, it's a fair question, but to be honest with you, what are you doing? What are you providing in the relationship if one person is going to work every day? What if you flipped it the other way? What if you said she goes to work and provides 100% of the income and all she wants is to have dinner when she gets home? I don't think any of you would argue that he needs to participate in the household. I mean, if you looked at it from a different perspective and flipped the gender roles, as so to speak, or flip the who was doing what, you would say he should cook every night, right? But, what are you supposed to do? Well, I mean, you're right. You're right when you say it, but is he supposed to cook as much? Is he supposed to go to work all day and provide 100% of the income and then come home and do just as much work around the house as she does? Is that what's supposed to happen? All right, so here we go. Scarlett is back from the Ronald McDonald House, and Val is here for the American Car Show, Trucks and Bikes. They do it every single year. Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for opening the door and letting me in.
Okay, so let's talk about the car show. Val, you do it every year. The proceeds go to the Ronald McDonald House. It's the Mopars of Bakersfield. And tell everybody what it is.
Yes, it's on our 17th year with the Ronald McDonald House. We're at the KOA on Weibel Road, right there at the Auto Mall. Same place we've been for, as I say, our 17th year coming. Mm-hmm. And we invite all makes and models of cars. Gates open at 7 o'clock for cars. Spectators can come in at 10. There's free parking on the street on Weibel all the way up and down both sides. So you won't be able to park inside the campgrounds, but you can park out there free. And it's free entrance. And we'll have lots of custom cars, motorcycles, everything you can think of every year.
It's going on May 9th. I believe that's a Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Val, can people still sign up for the car show? Are you filled up?
No, you can sign up online. Go on Mopars of Bakersfield. There's a website on there. You can do, we have a Q code now you can use if you want to enter that way, or you can print and mail it to me, or bring it on the day of the show. It's $35 in advance, day of show $40. And again, it's all for the Ronald McDonald House, so the increase in cost is minimal.
You guys have given over $300,000 over the years?
We're actually approaching $400,000.
Really? That's very impressive.
But you can come out and celebrate my birthday next week.
Is that when it's your birthday's next week?
It is.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think this is the third time I've celebrated in all the years out there.
Is somebody going to bring a cake or something? Or?
I don't really care. I don't
We'll do something.
They'll embarrass me somehow. But no, it's just so special that 100% of the proceeds from this event obviously go back to the Ronald McDonald House. The club doesn't keep any of it, and to think it's a car club, it's not a huge business. And the Mopars of Bakersfield are actually our largest donor to the Ronald McDonald House.
That's impressive.
And again, not a business, not an individual, just a bunch of people that love cars and do this out of the goodness of their heart every year for us.
So there could be any maker model out there. Like I said, it's going on May 9th. Gates open at 7 for the cars. Show starts at 10 a.m. for the spectators. It is at the KOA. What's this again?
Weibel. 5125 Weibel.
If you don't know where that is, then...
Used to be the Crest Drive-In.
Yeah, exactly. Right. If you don't know where that is, you don't need to go.
Yeah. And one thing I want to say is that without the support of the people, we wouldn't be able to raise this kind of money.
Yeah,
so
that's very impressive.
Everyone will bring their cars and enjoy the day. We'll have vendors on site for the food since the restaurant's no longer open.
Okay.
And
the restaurant's not open anymore?
No, it's closed now.
Oh, it's a great restaurant.
It was.
Such a great restaurant.
Again, we'll have 3 different vendors there for food and ice cream and all that stuff.
Yep.
And we'll be giving out our free water like we do every year.
Yep.
And, it's good sized trees, plenty. It's a unique situation where you have power and water at every site. So everybody come out and spend some money and make more money for the Ronald McDonald House.
And there is no better group of people to hang out with, and I don't know why it is, but there's no better group of people to hang out with than car owners, guys who like to sit around and show off their cars. I don't know why. They got great stories. They're so fun to talk to. They're very opening and welcoming and want to show you everything about their car. So if you're into it, it is a really great time, and it supports the Ronald McDonald House. Everybody hold on a second. All right, Scarlett. Scarlett's here from the Ronald McDonald House. We should talk a little bit about that before I tell you about Val's car show that he puts on every year with the Mopars of Bakersfield. Scarlett, the Ronald McDonald House, where's it at?
The Bakersfield Ronald McDonald House is located directly behind Bakersfield Memorial Hospital on 34th Street, but we do serve all of the local hospitals and outpatient care facilities for those families that have a child. And we will be open 17 years in about 6 weeks. June 4th will be our 17th birthday, and it's just been an amazing journey being there.
Now, Scarlett comes in to talk about all the fundraisers that she has to support the Ronald McDonald House, but if you just want to donate, if you just want to support them in your own little way, you can absolutely do that anytime, any day, as long as they're open, or just drop it off at the front door. Somebody pick it up.
Yeah, you can come by. We're right behind Bakersfield Memorial Hospital. You can come in and tour, and
it's a short tour.
It's a short tour. Yes, we will not. Yes, we are not. We are not a mansion.
It's a beautiful place,
but
though.
we provide that comfort, care, and support for families. And you can also visit us on the web at rmhcsc.org/Bakersfield and check us out.
I will tell you something funny before we get to Val about the Ronald McDonald. I lived next to this guy for 12 years, and my neighbor finally met him at the Ronald McDonald House.
JR!
My neighbor, hey, we know each other. Yeah, we see each other at the mailbox. Hey, Val. All right, so you got the Mopars of Bakersfield. You got the car show going on May 9th. That is Saturday. You got all makes and models.
Yes, sir. All makes and models. We don't care if it's an RV, anything. If you want to pay the fee, you can come.
How did they join the car show?
The car show, again, will be on the 9th from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock for the cars to come in, 10 o'clock for the spectators to come in. There's free parking on the street. It's courtesy of the city. And we welcome everyone to come. It's our 17th year, as it is her 17th year with the house. And we've raised quite a bit of money over the years, but only by the support of the people bringing those cars and showing off their wares and bragging about what they do.
Yeah, beautiful
since
cars.
It is the 250th year, we are going to have a lot of the military vehicles.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's awesome.
The olive drab people are going to bring their vehicles, so we'll have those up front. And we'll have all kinds of contraptions on wheels. That's the way I want to put it.
So there will be food vendors out there. There will be activities for you guys to go out and check it out. Obviously, take the kids, take the family, go out and enjoy a few hours out there checking out all the cars. It will take you a little while to get through them all. You can talk to the guys. You can find out how they built them. You can find out what they did. You can find out more information before we all go electric. And then will there be electric cars out there?
I would imagine. I would imagine. One thing, too, is our raffle every year is astronomical. I mean, we have been very fortunate in getting a lot of stuff, and we take pride in saying that it is a very large raffle. We have some very unique things thanks to Amazon. And, of course, this all benefits, again, the Ronald McDonald House.
All right, you guys, so go check it out. Val, Scarlett, thank you guys for stopping by May 9th over at the KOA campground. Or what do they call it? KOA Journey? KOA, yeah. It's over there off of Weibel Road across from the Auto Mall. You guys go check it out. May 9th, cars start showing up at 7. Spectators, you can get in at 10. It's going to be a great time. What do you send me here? Hey, Rome. Have you been watching the NBA playoffs? I haven't heard you talk about them. I know you always talk about football, but what do you think about the NBA? I've been trying. I try. I mean, I used to be a big NBA fan. We had season tickets. My family had season tickets to the Kings because that's where they lived. And my first ever basketball game I ever went to was the Kings and the Lakers. But the NBA today, first of all, they're playing a 7-game series for the first round of the playoffs. I think it used to be 5. think it used to be 3 or 5. I mean, it's just absurd to play 7 games like this. I've been trying to watch it, so I have no idea what's going on with it. But there's nobody appealing. I mean, there's no characters. There's no real. The guys in the NBA now, I mean, they had a good run. Kobe obviously was an amazing. Shaq was amazing. I'm trying to think the newest. Steph Curry was pretty impressive for a while. But they don't have any real. I mean, LeBron James was just amazing when he came out of high school, and now he's kind of a joke. The way he flops around, and he's kind of old and should probably have left. And so he's even become a joke. I mean, who do you really want to watch? Who do you really want to see? There's no appeal to the NBA. Not for me anymore. So, but I keep trying. I do. I keep trying to watch the playoffs. I mean, I turn it on every night to try to watch somewhat of the game, but it's just not, I don't know. It's not the game I want to see. I guess it's not the game I grew up with, so it's not the game I want to watch anymore. Things are just different. It's not appealing to me, but I try. I mean, so I don't know what you were asking. If I don't know anything about it, if that's what you're asking me, because I try to watch. I can watch for about 5 minutes, and then I got to go do something. It's not appealing to me. So, I mean, I guess that's why the NBA ratings are not as good as they used to be. It's not as popular as it once was, even though it's still pretty popular. So you can't, it's not a dying sport, but I don't know. I guess there's just no real star in the NBA that makes you want to watch like Kobe did, or like Tiger Woods did, or like, I don't know. I mean, the NFL is still pumping out superstars. So you still want to watch that every year. But that's just me. I don't know. All right, 842-547-7. Even with that Ohtani, it makes me want to watch the Dodgers play. And I was never a huge baseball fan, but even I want to watch him play. So there's just nobody in the NBA that really, I think, does that for me. No main superstar that goes, yeah, I got to check out that guy. All right. So really, no. But I keep trying. Like tonight, if there are games on tonight, if there's games on tonight, I'll try to watch them. But it won't, a couple of minutes and I'll be out.
Rome, you're so right with the NBA. Watching my Lakers last night, it's just so hard to watch, dude. There's just like, dude, and then like the refs are giving this guy Sengun, this dude like from Europe on the Hawks team.
Okay.
This dude's like the most awkward dude, falling and tripping. They're giving him calls. I'm just like, it's just, who are you trying to make a star, man? Clumsy?
Yeah.
I mean, they were giving this guy fouls before LeBron. I feel like they're trying to bring up any young dude that got the Euro move or something. I don't know, dude. It's bad.
It's just
There's no stars.
There's just something about it, and you're right. There's just nobody to root for where you just go, wow, this, like I don't know, Michael Jordan. He was just so, even when you hated him, you wanted to root for him. There's just no personality.
Dude, who I hated the most was Larry Bird, dude. Because we hated him, but he was so good.
There's just no personality in the NBA.
You had them rival, none, dude. And then all of them now are like, oh, I'm tired, I'm sitting out. Like KD yesterday, sitting on the bench, dude. His team's playing, and he's just like, it's just. They get all this money. All they want to do is sit down, rest, and complain.
All right, Joe. Thanks for calling. I mean, and that's what I mean. That's why I say I just can't watch the NBA anymore. I still try. There's just nobody to love in the NBA. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you. If you look at the athletes from the 90s and 2000s in the NBAs to what you have now, it's just not the same. All right, so when it comes to the NBA, somebody was asking me if I've been watching the playoffs, and I haven't been. I've been trying to, because I was a fan of the NBA for a lot of years, a couple of decades growing up, and there's just nothing that's appealing about it today. So I tried, but it's just, I don't know what, there's no personalities. There's nobody to root for. There's no one star that you just, or two stars. You just go, oh my God, I got to watch these guys. These guys are so great. They draw you in and they don't. I mean, it's just not there anymore. Wemby as a star. Well, yeah, he's a star in the NBA, but who's that? If I don't know who he is, then he's not a global sensation in the way that I've never been a huge baseball fan, but Shohei Ohtani makes me want to watch the Dodgers because he's so impressive and he's so he just draws you in. Wemby doesn't do that. I don't even know who he is. Tiger Woods drew people to golf like you wouldn't believe. People that didn't even like golf or know what golf was. Hey, Rome, they need to bring back some physicality to the NBA. Everybody cries about the fouls. The ref calls everything except for travel, and the players are always looking at the refs for a call instead of playing. When I played, you played until the whistle was blown. I mean, that's probably fair. You're probably right about that. I mean, but there's just, even with the rule changes and the things like that, you can, if you still had a personality, if you still had somebody that like Bird and Magic, that confrontation made you want to watch, even if you weren't a fan of the NBA. So it's just not the same. All right, 842-547-7. We're talking about the NBA. Somebody was asking me if I've been watching it, and I'm trying to, but I can't. It's just not appealing. It's not exciting. There's nothing really that makes me want to watch it, but I try. I keep trying. Rome, critics argue the modern NBA feels like a joke or inferior product due to lack of physicality, excessive three-point shooting, and poor officiating. The league is criticized for high-volume shooting regardless of player skill, excessive load management, players sitting out, and a focus on superstar calls that disrupted the game flow. I think ChatGPT just sent me a text message. Rome, I feel the same about boxing. It's become a joke. Yeah, boxing has become a little bit of a joke. You're right. Good morning, Al. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Rome?
Hey, what's going on, Ruben?
Hey, man, a lot of these big sports, like you say, LeBron James and everything, they ruined the sports, bro. Like the way they throw themselves on the floor and start flopping and all that. When with these TVs, you can see everything clear now. You know what I mean? Not like back in the days, you couldn't see that clear. But they ruined it.
Yeah, there's something to that. There is something to that.
Even now, the youth kids, we just had a tournament over the weekend, Rome, and a little girl, nobody was even near, and she hit the ground and started flopping like a fish coming out of the water. So you know what I mean? So it's
did she get the foul?
I think it takes the fun out of the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So they need to start. What they need to do is start giving them penalties and stuff for faking it. Rome. That's what they need to do so they can stop doing it and they can just play the real game.
Oh, I think they were going to start. I think they were talking about that. All right, Ruben. All right, Ruben. I mean, he's not wrong, but LeBron James was the LeBron James thing now is kind of new. Him flopping. He used to be pretty dominant, a really good basketball player. Now he just, looks like an old man flopping around. But there's just nobody to like or hate. That's kind of the problem. You have to have, these sports, the competitiveness of it is one thing. But if you don't have anybody to root for or root against, then it's not a good product. It's just not. So, but whatever. They're doing NBA. I know they're losing ratings, but they're not. I don't think they're going to disappear anytime soon. But it's just not. It's just not something to watch. Even when you go to the, yeah. So yeah. But I keep trying. I'll keep trying. A few minutes a night. But the playoffs are just, God, it's so boring. I don't know why the game is just so boring. They say baseball is boring, but my God, the NBA is just so boring to watch. It's hard to watch. It's Thursday, so Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
How's everything going?
Hey, I can't complain. Can you? I mean, things are fine. Things are going pretty good.
So the other day we were having a conversation about relationships, and it was a little bit different. It was about people not getting what they want out of the relationship, and I was just kind of, obviously it's not something that you would do. But I was telling people that it's okay to get out of relationships. And if you're not getting what you want, and there's nothing, you chose to be in the relationship, you can choose to leave. Now, let me preference that now that you're here. People choose to leave, I believe, over things that can be fixed. And they don't think they can fix them, so maybe that's why they leave. Or they just stay there and be unhappy in a relationship. But the idea that most things, I mean, there's a couple of things that obviously we're not going to talk about that are on very black and white. You got to get out. But a lot of the things that people have issues with in the relationship that they're unhappy with, I got to believe are fixable, that there are things there that you go, well, she doesn't, and I'll give you the perfect example of what we're talking about. The guy goes, I don't get enough sex in my relationship. Well, do you know why that is? Maybe you're not doing enough. Maybe she's not, But to me, that's fixable for the most part. Or chores or economics. I think stuff like that is fixable. What do you think about that, Michael?
I mean, there are a lot of things that are fixable. And nobody really jumps out of a relationship unless they really are convinced that it's beyond repair. There are a couple of things about us humans that we just want the relationship to continue. First of all, we are just a pair-making species. We just don't like to be alone, so we prefer to have a partner. And the other thing is we like tomorrow to be predictable. We want to wake up with the same people in our lives, And if we get out of a relationship, that gets rid of a lot of predictability. And so because of at least those two things, probably other things, but at least those two things, no, we wait until we're just really discouraged. We're convinced that the thing can't be changed before we'll leave a relationship.
Would you agree with, would you agree that most things, almost everything in a relationship, if you guys are really want to be with each other, that most things are fixable with communication, with help from a therapist, with somebody that can, or just wanting to do it and be with that person?
Well, I have seen in working with my clients that there are many things that are fixable that people did not think that they were at all. I've also seen that fixing it can look really different than the people thought. You have an idea in your mind of the solution for a problem. It's not working, but you keep trying it. It's not working. Well, there may be other solutions, So just because you keep beating your head against the wall doesn't mean you can't move a little bit to the left.
Yeah.
There's actually a threshold that you can kind of go through, instead of continuing to beat your head against. But no, we do. We continue to keep doing things that aren't working, and we become convinced that, this is just an intractable problem.
And when like you said, we keep doing things that aren't working. Somebody might leave a relationship over something that, if they would have just talked with somebody, it could have helped them and gotten to another relationship. And now a few years down the road, they're having the exact same problem that they were in the previous relationship.
Very true. Sometimes your partner needs to hear it from a third person who they can tell cares about the relationship, but kind of is an unbiased person.
Sure.
When they hear it from you, I don't know, there's this kind of thing that is just like, well, that's your opinion. I mean, we tend to kind of discount it in some way because we think, well, I hear what you're saying and everything. I just can't kind of see it like that. And then we hear it from this third person, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, that makes sense. And then the partner just looks at them like, I've been telling you that for years. And it makes sense all of a sudden. I don't know what it is about that, but that can really help. And then the other thing is, just coming up with a different solution than you pictured in your mind. Just looking at the problem a little bit differently, seeing it from a different point of view. You as the person might need to change how you're going about trying to solve it too. So either one of those two things can make it just really helpful to talk to somebody.
I want to talk about that next, Michael. Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. I want to talk a little bit about what people are doing in the relationship to help get what they want out of their partner. That might sound, we'll talk about it. Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. That's 661-327-5100. Good morning, Michael.
Oh, good morning.
This idea, sorry, Michael and I were talking off the air, and I just said people are stupid because people are stupid.
I get just sort of a little bit amazed at your low opinion of humanity sometimes. I see people doing these same things, and I am curious about it. I'm interested in it. I sometimes have compassion for it. I'm like, oh, these poor people or whatever. But I don't just kind of go, they're just so stupid.
Well,
I don't know.
Sometimes, maybe it's just because I've been talking to you for so many years, I feel like I'm just so much smarter than all these idiots in their relationships fighting over the dumbest things that are irrelevant. And then when you start to look at your life and go, man, I want to be happy. I want to enjoy my life with somebody. I want to have dinner. I want to have sex. I want to talk. I want to do these things, run errands. But people get so damn, I don't know what it is, Michael. I don't know if they're afraid they're going to be taken advantage of by going to grocery shopping with their wife or holding their purse, or if she actually, has to make dinner one night, that she's being, thrown in the kitchen, or all these ideas of things that people want out of each other that all have to get done anyways. They just want to fight about it. They just want to, it's almost like they're both puffing their chests out at each other to find out who's going to control everything. But when you're in a relationship, you would think that would be the one person you're not trying to battle. And I see it. I see these people. That's why I say they're so stupid. I just don't know, Michael.
Well, you definitely have some stuff figured out. But I also want to point out that when you and I first started talking 1,100 years ago, or whenever that was, you really thought things needed to be fair. And if they weren't, that was just, you had to address that. And if you weren't, you weren't being a man, or you had all these kind of different things that now you've really kind of come around and kind of seen that, oh, wait a minute, maybe there's more important things I could worry about.
Once again, Michael, why I'm smarter than everybody in Bakersfield, because I'm capable of changing for the better. That's why I'm smarter than them also. They're so stupid.
That's fine, but just let's have some compassion for some of the people who haven't quite gotten there yet. It's true. We do. We dig our heels in all the wrong times. We kind of feel like we have to make an issue of things that maybe we don't have to make an issue of. But maybe there's other things that need to be addressed that are making those shoes that are being left on the floor seem so important. I'm not mad about the shoes that are on the floor, but every time I see them, I remember how disrespected I feel, or whatever thing is going on in the relationship that's not need fulfilling.
Now, you're right about that. Now, let me just give you something that came up the other day, Michael. A guy said his wife called. He was at work. She was just having a bad day. Called to say she was frustrated. She was tired, blah, 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 whatever it was, right? So he says, you know what, let me get off work a little early. I'm going to go pick up dinner for the kids and the family so that she doesn't have to do anything, right?
Yeah.
Apparently she got home and was pissed off because she had pulled out something for dinner, and now she didn't have to. Her plan was messed up for dinner because he went and tried to do something nice, which he thought was, going to help her take a little load off her plate, and she was pissed off about that. So we kind of concluded that she was just having a bad day and took it out on him, which happens, right? But why do we do that? Why do we? Why little things? that help in the relationship, and people just want to fight about it. They just want to, like you said, dig their heels in over something that is so irrelevant in the big scheme of things of our lives and our relationships and our humanity, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. In that moment, it feels like, wow, this is the thing I just absolutely have to focus on. In the bigger picture, maybe not, but how do I change these habits? That's another thing we haven't talked about. We pick up habits sometimes even just in the families we grew up in, and we carry those forward into our relationships. They don't work at all.
Yeah.
They just don't get our needs met in the long term. Or if they do, it's super temporary. And yes, I get my damn sandwich right now, but in the future, you're not looking to see how you can maybe, do something nice for me. You're just trying to keep your distance a little bit and protect your sense of, kind of just, respect.
Let me ask you this real quick, Michael. If I do something nice for you and you go, and it's something that you don't, how do I say this? Not that you don't think it's nice, but it's not really what you want. I say, okay, shouldn't we just shut up and say thank you? He tried, she tried. It wasn't really what I wanted, but they were trying to do something nice for me in a positive way. But it seems like a lot in our relationships, we'll sit there and make a snide comment. Well, I don't like that. Flowers just die. Why'd you buy me flowers? They just die. When you're going, well, I just thought it'd be nice for me to buy you some flowers. Say thank you, shut up, and move on with your day. We do that a lot.
Yeah, there's the attempts that we make, and then there's how it lands. This is my intent. This is what I want to do, but then there's how it actually hits. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we get it wrong, and we need to fess up and kind of go, if I'd have thought that through a little bit more, I might have realized she could have made plans, maybe communicated it a little bit better, and maybe thought of a different way that I could have helped, because she usually does get something out for dinner or, something maybe. But I kind of like the way you said it. She was just having a bad day.
Well, I think she was.
Maybe there wasn't anything that he could have done for her. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing would have been better than trying, I guess. I don't know. It seems like in relationships, people just become so combative and so competitive, and so I don't get it, Michael, and I don't understand. I can't do that for you because my friends will make fun of me if I hold your purse at the mall. Well, that's your wife. Who the hell cares? You're just sitting there holding a purse. What does that really mean? It means nothing, except she likes it, or vice versa. Yeah. I don't understand how we get there, but that's why, once again, I say people are stupid. Because it's pretty obvious when you and I talk about it, right? We're not, reinventing the wheel. We're not solving world hunger. We're telling you exactly, be nicer to your spouse, and your spouse may be nicer to you.
Well, we're also not in this relationship where we've chronically not gotten our needs met, where we've been trying to kind of assert ourselves in some important ways to us, and it hasn't worked. So I just want to have compassion for the people who are hearing this and going, these guys just don't understand. This is my life is way more complicated than they're making it seem.
Well, you have compassion. I'll call them stupid. All right. Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. All right. Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. 661-327-5100. Good morning, Michael.
Well, good morning.
We talked a little bit about relationships, and I was saying the other day, Michael, I think most things are fixable. Most things that people do, they can fix in a relationship if they really want to, if they truly want to. And I think about 80% of the things that we fight over in relationships are nonsense. Not nonsense to the other person, but are kind of nonsense in the big scheme of things. And there's no real reason to be unhappy if you've decided, I got to talk about that. Michael, I just thought of something else too.
You have too many ideas.
I got to focus. But anyway, I think that we give up before and really don't understand that the nonsense that we broke up over was fixable, and then we go to the next relationship and we have the same problem and we go, see, it was them. No, it was you. It's the same problem you left this relationship over, which was totally fixable if you had a conversation and a little bit of help, right?
Yeah. Good point. And write down that other idea you had.
I am right now.
Right now, while we're talking. But you know what? You said if they really want to fix it, and I would add one other thing to that. If they believe they can, you got to really want it, and you got to believe it's possible. And sometimes going to that third neutral party and talking about your relationship can open your eyes to maybe a possibility that you weren't looking at before, that maybe it could be fixable. So be careful before you determine that something isn't fixable. A couple of things are just really, really difficult. Maybe one of them impossible to fix. The really difficult one is if you've broken trust with each other multiple times, it is really, really difficult to regain trust when it's been broken multiple times. If you physically harmed each other, or if you've cheated on each other, if it's just really you've just crossed lines multiple times, it's going to be very, very difficult to trust yourself or that other person in that relationship. That's really tough. It's not impossible, but you got to start really small, and progress looks very different than you think it might. And it's really tough. And the other one is that about 3 to 7% of Americans are true narcissists.
Really?
They just don't have it in them to have compassion for other people. They just kind of can't see from someone else's point of view. They just can't do it. It's all about them. A lot of these people tend to kind of have a sort of a criminal mindset where it's what I can get away with, or getting one over on someone else. And but about somewhere between. Well, they kind of estimate that in women it's about maybe up to 5%. For men it's up to maybe 7%. So there's some number in there. There is a percentage of people who just lack the ability to have compassion for others. That's going to be a really difficult relationship. If you want to have a relationship with somebody who can actually have some give and takes, who can see things from your perspective, that's going to be really tough with a narcissist.
So when we talk about these things that are fixable and things that a couple of things you brought up, that the trust, the cheating, I don't think those are fixable. And I don't care if you fix that or not. I just see there are some things from one side where you just go, you know what? It ended. You made a mistake, a bad mistake. There's no coming back from it, and there really shouldn't be. Move on to somebody else who's going to treat you and never do that to you better. I just see these little things where you're arguing, like you said, we've always done. So getting old. The shoes. He comes home and leaves the shoes on the ground, or in the in the living room every day, or she comes home and kicks her shoes off in the living room. It just I don't like it. It's dirty. It's messy. It's whatever. We fight about that every day for a year, and now all of a sudden it turns into we always argue. Well, what do you always argue about? Well, we argue about everything. No, you really just argued about the shoes. And you've always said, Michael, they both have a point. But to me, that's stupid and fixable. But now it turns into this bigger issue of we're always arguing. And now it's more combative when the idea was, if you understand each other, then we don't have to go there.
Yeah, arguing gets so tough, especially when there's defensiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Couples say that when defensiveness gets into the argument, their number one feeling is hopelessness. They just feel like this is hopeless. Once you get into that kind of, now we're not even listening to each other. We're just trying to not be wrong. It's discouraging. It's just so discouraging when you get into that. So, overcoming those habits of argument is just really, really important. You're going to have disagreements. It doesn't mean you have to agree on everything. In fact, you'll figure out how to disagree and get along just fine. But you do have to figure out how to not get into that cycle of escalating arguments where all of a sudden that other person becomes the enemy.
Yeah. All right, Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center. That's Marriage Family Center, 661-327-5100. Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to bring something up about the narcissist. Not everybody's a narcissist. Just because you and your spouse have an argument doesn't mean they're a narcissistic person. It could just be a bad day or a bad whatever. People.
Oh, that's so important.
I mean,
absolutely.
I think most people know when they're, and what'd you say, 3 to 5% or 5 to 7% of people, men and women. We all know, right? We know our friends who are narcissistic. We know
the time you don't know is when you're in an unhappy relationship, because when you're in the middle of this relationship, just sort of pleading for your needs to get met, and they're not being met. They could maybe not be being met for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you're looking at your partner through these different lenses that are convincing you that, it just must be their character, or they changed. They're not the person they pretended to be when we were going out. Or maybe, it's possible that they sort of covered up their narcissism, but do get a second or third opinion on that, because it can really look like you're with a narcissist when you're not getting your needs met.
When you're not. And there could just be other things going on that you just don't really know about. Maybe we should talk about that one time, Michael, over the next few weeks, is people going through relationships and not understanding why their spouse is changing. It may be for, work may have changed, or something they're not telling them that just might be causing issues that have nothing to do with them being narcissistic, or with them being, or anything to do with the spouse. I mean, how many times has that happened, Michael, where a guy just doesn't want to talk about what's going on at work, so it's causing problems at home, and you're going, well, what's going on here? Is it me? No, it's, some outside factor.
Or some relationship dynamic that you haven't recognized, but it's sort of playing itself out that way. A lot of times that's what's happening.
All right, Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. Hold on, Stop 94.1. Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Sorry, Michael. Are you there now?
Good morning.
Oh, there you are. All right. Michael,
okay, good.
I want to talk real quick before we get you out of here about this idea of what we do in our relationship. We get married, we live together. Maybe if we both work, if one of us works, one of us stays home. Traditionally, there's these roles that said, okay, if I go to work all day, you stay at home and take care of the kids, or clean the house and cook dinner or whatever. How do we figure that out as a couple? We don't talk about it. I mean, I'd love to hear one couple say, you know what? When we got together, we said, this is what I'm going to do, this is what he's going to do, and we're going to, go from there. I don't believe people do that. I think they just hope it happens.
Yeah, a lot of our lives kind of mesh a little bit when we're becoming a couple. Our social lives kind of start to mesh a little bit, but we still have kind of a little bit separate social life than our partner, and then we have a different work life usually from them. And a lot of that kind of gets sorted out in the beginning of the relationship. Oh, I see you're going to be away during this time. I'm going to be away during this time. Sometimes those things aren't very compatible for the relationship. Sometimes, hey, I work at night, you work during the day, we never see each other. We wave at each other as we pass. That's not much of a relationship.
Yeah.
So, those things, they do have to be worked out. They usually are in that partnering phase. Well,
but they don't work them out, Michael. You've seen it happen over the year. I'm sure you've seen it happen. The guy who, she marries the guy who works 10 hours a day because he's such a hard worker. He's going to provide for the family because he's, and he will. And then 5 years in, she's like, you're never home. I never see you. Well, that's because I'm over here trying to provide this life that you wanted, not in a negative way, but you signed up for this. And now you're mad about it.
Yeah, or even maybe more common, 5 years later, she says, I'd like to go back to school. I started studying this thing, and
absolutely,
I'd like to kind of finish up that degree or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, wait a minute. I thought I married somebody who wanted to be at home. Yep. So we talked off the air about this idea of, people change over time, and how much change should be okay, how much change should we sort of expect to have to go along with, and when is it something that we didn't sign up for? And that is an important question that a lot of couples have to kind of work out.
Do more couples work that out than not, Michael?
I think more couples work it out than not. My fear is that a lot of couples sort of settle They just, things aren't as good as before, and I guess we just have to put up with it instead of figuring out how to actually turn it into a positive for their relationship. They just kind of, okay, I'll just
go along with it.
And go along with it.
Don't rock the boat. Are we that afraid of being alone, Michael, as human beings?
Well, like I said, we have those compelling reasons of wanting to partner up and also wanting our lives to be predictable, to stay in relationships. Okay, but if you're going to stay in the relationship, why not put the effort into it that you need to make it a need-fulfilling relationship? Well, one of the reasons, like we talked about all during this whole discussion today, is because I become convinced that I can't. Because I become convinced that I'm just not going to get all my needs met, so I just have to lump it. Well, maybe you haven't tried everything. Maybe you haven't tried some things in a way that would even work. Maybe you've tried it, but you didn't implement it in a way that your relationship needed to. Please go to an expert. Get that second opinion or third, and kind of explore that, because, moving on is tough. And particularly when there are kids involved, they don't want that disruption. For them, it feels like their world is being torn apart. Yeah. For us adults, that's fine. We can move on. We can make our decisions or whatever. But then we end up dragging these kids through it, and that's just not fair to them.
All right, Michael Bean, I appreciate you coming on this morning. Marriage Family Center, 661-327-5100. All right, what did you text me here? Let me get to them already. 42547-7. Hey, Romeo, I got to tell you this. It was so embarrassing. Yesterday, I got home early from work. I was taking care of business, and my wife actually came home early from work as well and caught me. I was so embarrassed. I was mortified. I didn't know what to do. I thought she was going to be upset, but she wasn't. She just kind of laughed it off, but I couldn't believe it. She said, "That's what guys do." And then we ended up, oh, okay. Well, I mean, it worked out for you, but I was so embarrassed. I'm still embarrassed. I was still embarrassed this morning when I saw my wife before we left for work. Okay, well, I mean, it's your wife, obviously. If your wife didn't care, I mean, why would you care? Already 42547-7. Hey, but we all have embarrassing moments, right? What was your most embarrassing moment? Apparently, this guy had his most embarrassing moment yesterday when his wife came home and caught him handling business without her. So, at least he wasn't cheating, right? Already 42547-7. Let's talk about your most embarrassing moment. Let me think what my most embarrassing moment was. Wow, that's tough. That's tough. Do you guys have one that stands out where you were just so embarrassed? That's tough. That's a tough question to answer. Alrighty, 42547-7. What was yours? You got an embarrassing moment?
Well, that's nasty.
What is?
How the hell he get off work early and the first thing that comes to his head is go in the house and play with himself? He could have took out the trash. He could have fed the dog. He could have done so many other things, Romeo.
I don't know.
He should be embarrassed of himself. That's nasty.
All right, man.
All right, well.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Rome? This is Seahawk Lou.
What's going on, Lou?
I have a little embarrassing moment. I wanted to bring it up.
What happened?
Well, we were in Fresno kind of bar hopping, and I went to this place called Splash Bar in Fresno.
Okay.
And I was eating some hot Cheetos, and I was getting towards the end of the bag. So I had all that Cheeto dust on my fingers.
Okay.
And I just started licking them off my fingers, man. And I make eye contact with this guy. And he comes over and offers me his drinks. And I'm like, okay. And then he asked me, why were you, sucking on your fingers, looking at me? And I was so embarrassed. My friends made fun of me. I was like, oh, no, man, I had hot Cheeto dust on my fingers. So, I got a free drink out of it, but
Well, that's
it was
good.
really embarrassing, Ro.
All right, Lou. All right, bro. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, it was one of my embarrassing moments.
Just one, huh? That's right. I have a feeling a lot of them are going to have to do with sex, right? All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo. I was out one night with my friends drinking. I ran into my baby daddy. We got drunk. We were hanging out. We went back to my place, jumped in the sack. The next morning, he was passed out. Our son came in, jumped on us like we were a happy family and said, "Daddy, you're here." I was absolutely mortified because me and him had been broken up for like 2 years. There was no way I wanted my son to see that. It happens. I don't know why you would be embarrassed. So like, what did your son think? Like, what did he, All right. I mean, the worst things could happen to you, right? All right, 842-547-7. Like I said, you got what is your most embarrassing moment? Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Yes, I do an embarrassing moment.
Yeah, what's up, man?
So, I was like 17 years old. I knew Buffalo High School as a player, went to the bowling alley with my sister, brother-in-law, cousins, a bunch of us, like 10, 15 of us. There was a group of girls next to us. So I was checking them out there, checking me out. I was like, you know what? I want to, I think show off in front of them.
Okay.
I know how to bowl pretty good. Man, I went to go try to throw a strike, and I struck out bad. I passed that little line, and when he gets slippery, landed on my ass. Oh, my God. That was the worst thing ever, bro. Worst. I got my crap. They were all laughing. I got my crap, and I left. Man, I just walked out the building.
Oh, my God. There is nothing worse than embarrassing yourself when you're trying to be cool.
Right.
Although you should be embarrassed for calling yourself a player at 17, but okay.
Hey, I was.
All right, man. Thanks for calling. I got to tell you, there's a lot of situations to be embarrassed. I mean, embarrassing situations that we've all been in. But one of the worst is when you're trying to be cool and you embarrass yourself. That's one of the worst. RD42547-7. All right, your most embarrassing moment. What do you got? 842-547-7. Let's see. Hey, Rom. I was out with friends and I wanted to go home early as I'm not a big drinker. So I knew I had to fake drunk so I could leave early. So I began to pass out and my friends were like, take her home. Oh, take her home. And suddenly one of my friends comes up to me and says, "I got you all virgin drinks. What are you doing?" I looked at her and smiled. I was so embarrassed. I said, "It's time for me to go home." Oh, that's pretty funny. Hey, Romeo, I went on a cruise years ago. I got a cute dress from a vendor. I wore it and was walking up the stairways to the next level. The wind hit me so hard, it went all the way up to my armpits. There was a whole row of old people at the top staring at me. And I said, "I hope you didn't see anything." They said, "We saw it all." I died laughing. I thought that only happened in the movies where the dress got blown up like that. Wow. That's hilarious. All right, 842-547-7. What's your most embarrassing moment? All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo, some friends of mine, we went to Vegas for the weekend. We were drunk, and I accidentally had my friend's room key instead of mine. Somehow they got switched. So we were out partying one night. I came back to the room, thought I was walking into my room. Ends up, I was walking into her room. She was going at it with some dude. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't believe it. And you just took off? Well, why are you embarrassed? If you walked in on your friend having sex with somebody else, why would you be embarrassed? I mean, shouldn't she be embarrassed? I'm not really sure about that. But okay, I can see that. I mean, now maybe if you walked in on your parents having sex, I could see you being embarrassed, but your friend? I don't know. Alrighty, 42547-7. Hey, Rome. A pretty embarrassing thing happened to me while I was working. I work outside and go door to door. I was crossing the street and didn't realize the curb I was about to step on was higher than normal and totally ate, you know what, in front of a lot of traffic. I know I'm on someone's Ring doorbell camera footage. Falling, that's not embarrassing. I mean, it's funny, but not embarrassing. It happens. Good morning, Al. What's going on?
I have an embarrassing moment.
What happened?
So I was at a funeral.
Oh, God.
And, I thought it was my friend's funeral. So, I'm breaking down. I'm crying. I'm just not doing okay. Then finally, everyone leaves the casket in the area. So I'm next. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is somebody I don't even know. And then I'm walking away, and my friend starts laughing already. So I had to start to laugh with a cry.
Oh, my God.
And then one of the girls that I knew, and she was one of my students, she goes, I didn't know you knew my grandpa. I said, neither did I.
You went to the wrong funeral.
Yes, I went to the wrong funeral.
Oh, my
you know
God.
what? And I didn't even think twice about it. I was just like, there's a lot of people here I do not know.
That is hilarious. Oh, my God, that's funny.
I deserved an Academy Award for that.
That is a great story. Oh, my God. I don't even know how that happens.
And she doesn't live it down. She's like, remember when we went to that funeral? I said, man, would you stop? I said, stop. It's so embarrassing. I go, my student was right next to me. So I didn't know you knew my grandpa.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I could not stop myself from laughing, but it had to be like a strong laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was horrible.
That's
I'm going to hell
hilarious.
for that.
That's great. That's great. All right, thanks for calling.
All right, take care.
Oh, that's hilarious. Already 42547-7. You got an embarrassing moment? And hey, Romeo, I was out one night at the club and I ran into this chick that I kind of knew. I thought she was still married, but she wasn't. So we hooked up, went back to her place. I got up in the morning. I was walking around in my underwear. I go into the living room to the kitchen to grab something to drink. There's a man sitting on the couch with a kid. It ended up she was divorced, but she still lived with her husband and son. It was so awkward and embarrassing. I just ran back into the room, grabbed my clothes, and took off. Later on, I found out when I talked to her that they were just living together because they couldn't afford to separate. Wow. I don't even really know what to say about that. That could be embarrassing and awkward. Yeah. Alrighty, 42547-7. I'm trying to think. I remember when I was in college, I went home with this girl, but we had known each other for a couple of years. And we went home together one night after the bar, and her roommates came out while we were on the couch. But that wasn't embarrassing for me, probably more embarrassing for the roommate. But man, her ex-husband and her kid are sitting on the couch, probably watching cartoons, eating cereal. You're in your chones, getting ready to go get some juice, huh? All right. Hey, Rome, I got an embarrassing moment for you. I met this girl one night. We went back to her place, did our thing. The next day, I woke up buck naked in her bed. Apparently, she left for work, and her roommate was waking me up. Nice. Good morning, Al. What's going on?
Romeo, I got a good one for you, bro.
What happened?
So at my old job, when I was like 20, I'm old already, right? So I was like 20 years old. I was at this old job, and I'm training this new guy. And he's very quiet, very serious, showing him the ropes. And then out of nowhere, this chick that I used to go out with, not even go out, mess around with, rolls up. And I'm like, oh, what's up, whoop-de-whoop. And the guy there never says nothing. Later on the night, we're closing up, and I see the same girl. She's across the street, and we're all the guys were just standing there, and now like, oh, you see that girl over there? And everybody's like, yeah. And I go, man, bro, I used to, you know.
Yeah.
And then everybody starts laughing. So the new guy then looks at me and goes, oh, that's my wife. Oh, my God. I didn't even know what to say. The new guy didn't come back to work the next day or anything, bro. But I was just embarrassed, bro. Like, I didn't even know what to say.
Well, at least you have some humility about you. That's good, man. That's good. All right, brother. Thanks for calling, man. Later. 342-547-70 for the guy that hooked up with a girl and her husband walked in. He says hey Rome, he watched for the rest of the time, but then they played in town. Oh, when they play in town, she'll call me and we hook up. He would watch, but sometimes it would be all three of us. Okay, all right. So he watched you. Okay, I could see how that would be awkward.
Good morning, Romeo.
Hey, what's up?
Most embarrassing moment is I married the same man 3 times.
Are you serious?
Yes. So we had our first wedding was big, big, go all out. Second one, everybody was probably like, okay, yeah, we'll go to this one. It was a medium-sized one, just a small ceremony. The third one, we were just like, you know what? Let's just do a paper and get out of here because it's embarrassing now.
What? Why did you marry him 3 times?
Okay, our first one obviously was our big first time being married, and then I divorced him 14 years later, and then we really didn't even separate. We only separated for like 2-3 months. But our obviously the divorce went through, so we got married again, and we had our second little ceremony. And come to find out, that one didn't go through, so we had to get married a third time. And yeah, now we're divorced. We've been divorced the past 4 years.
Well, then you should be getting married here again pretty soon.
I ain't getting married no more. He got married again. That's embarrassing.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Thanks for calling. Good morning, Don. What's going on?
Good morning, Romeo.
Hey, what's up?
You guys talking about embarrassing moments?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, my God. So I was at Lake Tahoe 10 years ago, and I was walking, and I was like, oh, man, I hope I don't fall. I was walking slow in my boots, and bam, I had a corn in my hand, and I fell, and I had the corn up in the air. Saved my corn.
Oh.
It was embarrassing.
No, I bet it was. There's nothing more embarrassing than falling in front of people.
I know.
I took my son out to the park, that little festivities. We ate some tacos, and there was a lady in between 2 trash cans. So I went over there to dump our plates, and she was crying. So I told her, ma'am, are you okay? And she was wearing a nice little dress with some cowboy boots,
Okay.
So then she goes, can you go and find my husband for me? And I'm like, yeah, what is he wearing? So she was telling me, and then she moved her legs a little bit, and I heard some squashy, a little noise. You know when you get water in your boots and you walk and it's squishy?
Yeah.
That noise?
Okay.
So I'm like, what the hell was that? So anyways, trying to find out, I guess this lady, she had the bubble guts. And and I guess she had real bad diarrhea, and she couldn't hold it, and all that stuff went in her boots.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God.
That's why she was crying. So I found her husband, and then I told her what happened. She started talking to him, so he went to the house, brought her a big old towel, and then covered her up and took all. But everybody knew what was wrong. Who would wear a big towel?
Yeah.
But yeah, she was embarrassed. And it's gonna find out. My son goes, "Hey, that's a lady that works drive-thru at McDonald's." I'm like, Neil, don't never.
You guys that's awful. Poor girl. Oh, God. All right, man. Thanks for calling. Later. Oh, poor lady. Already 42547 Rome. The most embarrassing thing that happened to me is passing gas while getting by having sex, basically, is what he's saying. I'm still with her till this day. Had the craziest laugh when with her, and it didn't kill the mood. Oh my God. That is oh my gosh. We haven't talked about embarrassing sex stories in a long time. It's been quite a few years, I think, since we talked about that. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll do it again.
Romeo in the Morning.
Every morning.
On 94.1.